So how do you live with meaning and purpose? Does your life feel meaningful, or do you feel like you're, kind of constantly searching? This is one of the questions that we seem to ask ourselves a lot, isn't it? What are we here for? What's our meaning? What's our purpose? So, hi, I'm Marianne from One Life to Flourish, and welcome to tonight's episode of Monday Motivation. Now, if you are ready to start building a flourishing life, then you're in the right place. Tonight, I am focusing on the next area of having a flourishing life, which is about creating meaning and purpose. So such an important question that we have. Right, before we continue, a little bit of housekeeping. So if you know someone who you think might find it really interesting to join in this topic, please invite them along. Now, we're also going live in a couple of different places. So for me to be able to see any comments or questions, you do need to make sure that you are here at One Life to Flourish. And then I'll be able to see your comments. Otherwise, I will try and catch up with them after. All right, so let's get back to our idea of meaning and purpose. So first of all, what do we mean by meaning? So essentially, it's that feeling of belonging to things and serving something that's just bigger than yourself. And it's kind of about how you walk through the world, how you navigate your way through life. Now, purpose is about recognizing what your own gifts are and then coming up with ways that are unique to you to share them with the world. So ways that are going to really make a difference. Now, it's important to notice that these things change over time. And also that knowing what the meaning is can actually help us to experience happiness. So why do we want to worry about it? So first of all, it can actually help to increase your lifespan. Some really interesting research on this, but essentially, you kind of tend to have healthier choices if you feel like you've got more meaning. And you also tend to have less depressive kind of thoughts, particularly as you get older. So what might be the 4 main areas to actually look at? So first of all, there's physical and mental well-being. And, research shows that this actually increases as you find more meaning in your life. Now, for more ideas around this, I have talked about this quite a bit already if you want to check out some of the other videos. Now, the next one is belonging and recognition, feeling valued, feeling validated, like others get you. All right, so it's like joining those communities that just make you feel like you're part of something. The next one is actually engaging in activities that are personally treasured by you. So it might be hobbies, it might be doing things with your family, with friends, grandparents spending time with their grandchildren, getting into flow. Now, the next thing that can give us meaning is actually developing spiritual closeness and connectedness. Now, sometimes we think about that as being about religion, but it's not really, although it could be for some people, but it's the way that we kind of have this sense of being connected to the other things in our world. And it's that connectedness that can help us to have meaning. All right, so how do you actually go about looking at the meaning for your life? Start with a bit of self-reflection. Ask yourself some questions, particularly ones that kind of get your thinking going, provoke a bit of thought. So when do you feel the best? And, what kinds of things are you doing that really give you some great experiences? In what way do you actually love to help people? And there's a whole lot of other different kinds of questions that you can ask, but just kind of dig down a little bit and reflect. And then just actually start doing something and see where that takes you. So, what can you do to feel like you're in flow? What can you do that's going to help someone else? So just start to do some different things so that you're exploring what your potential purpose and meaning could be in life. And of course, there are quite a number of different books and even programs and things that can actually help you with that if you're really, wanting to get some help. And there's a whole range. I won't mention any of them now. You can do a bit of a search. The important thing to remember, though, is through all of this, your meaning and your purpose is not set in stone through your life. It will change just like you change through life. So keep open, to that kind of thing. All right, now, basically, if you are wanting some help with gaining a little bit more perspective on your life, then you might like to try my Mind Reiki program, which I have got a little bit of extra information about. It is amazing at actually creating more positive emotions, motivation, and just generally less stressed and happier outlook on life. It can also kind of help to get through blocks and things that are holding you back. So if you've got some blocks around things that might help you to live a more positive life, then this may be something that could help you. So if you are interested in getting some other details or having a conversation with me about it, then just put mind into the comments. Otherwise, you can see there's a few other things that you can do. So basically, it's got my Facebook page there, and you can also grab the Happiness Habits Playbook as well. And if you go to my Facebook page, there's a way that you can actually book in and connect with me in that way. So I'd love to have a chat with you about some of those things. Now, let me just leave you with the thought that it is important to actually find out at this point in your life what the meaning is for you and what the purpose is for you. So I really would encourage you to actually spend that little bit of time on self-reflection, kind of go through a little bit of a process, think about those categories that we talked about. So, your mental and physical well-being, finding the things that kind of give you joy that you can connect with, how you can be part of communities, all of those kinds of things. So start to think a little bit, dig a bit deeper into your life. All right, thank you for joining me this week. Next week, I'll be continuing to talk a little bit more about how to live a flourishing life, which is really important just for overall well-being. So obviously, meaning and purpose is part of that, but there are other aspects as well. So join me next Monday at 8:30 when we'll dive into a few other things around living a flourishing life. I hope you have a great week, and I really would encourage you this week just to do a little bit of self-reflection on the whole idea of what's going to give you meaning and purpose in your life. All right, goodbye for now, and I'll hopefully see you next week.